next sentence in that passage would have been to me, instead of saying it would save us, I would have put, this is the Leslie Revised Version, it would say, let us go into the battle with the presence of the Lord before us, and he will save us from our enemies. That's actually what I would put. So, now, how this, I'm going to tell you how this went down. All this went down. So, they went and got the Ark of the Covenant, brought it back into the camp. And as the Ark of the Covenant comes back into the camp, the Israelites were like, they were so loud that they shook the ground that the Philistines could hear them over in their camp. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on in the Israelite camp? And they were like, oh Lord, they brought that thing over there, and it's God's, and we're going to fight for your lives. So, so now, they, it did good. It got the Israelites, kind of thing, they got, but the thing was, it was a substitute. It wasn't a real thing. So, I like to say in 2 Timothy 3:1, it says that they appear to have a godly life, but they will not let its power change them. So all of this celebration frightened the Philistines, and it drove them to fight even harder. And so let's talk about the results. So we go on and see that the results of the Israelites doing all of this on their own was a disastrous result. And so this was a combination of sin, a combination of unrepentance, prayerlessness, and ungodly plans. So let's see where it got the children of Israel. First of all, they were defeated, and 30,000 men perished. Death. The rest of them were led back to their tents. Fear. The Ark of the Covenant was captured. Bondage, captivity. Hophni and Phinehas were killed. Death. Eli, the high priest, their father, fell backwards on his seat after he heard the news of the defeated, that the Ark of the Covenant had been captured. He fell back on his seat and he broke his neck because they said he was old, and he was, I'm sure his BMI probably was at least over 40 because they said he was overweight. So, and then Phinehas' wife, who was pregnant, went into premature labor and died in childbirth. But before she died, she named the child that she had Ichabod, which means, and we know that in Israel that the names had a meaning. And the name of Ichabod means the glory has left. And so as she died, she said, the glory has gone from Israel. The Ark of the Covenant has been captured. And so she died. So what my message is to you, all of you today, is I want to ask you to ask yourself, what do you depend on? What is your it? So, are you like I used to be, placing my trust in my abilities, my rank and my experience, people that I knew, my contacts, dropping names, my material things, my house, my car, my physical appearances? What is your it? Or do you allow God to do your plans? Do you allow God to place his plan that he has for your life? Whether you know it or not, God has a plan for each and every person sitting in this room. Jeremiah 29:11 says, for I know the plans that I have for you, and they are plans of hope and plans of the future. And then Jeremiah 1 says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart and appointed you as my prophet to the nations. So even before that, wonderful to know that before the beginning of time, God knew you before you even were placed in your mother's womb. He had a plan and a purpose for your life. Amen? Yeah. So, I want to know, what is your it? Because rank and experience, one day they may become irrelevant. People and contacts, they can become distant and out of touch. Material things can depreciate. They can be lost, stolen, or destroyed. Marriages sometimes fail. And you may not always be able to depend on your family or your loved ones because sometimes they're the ones that hurt you the most. Intelligence and beauty, all of those things decrease with age and time. So as we sit here on the first Sunday of 2014, 2015, it's 2015. I knew that, okay. Why not, see, I have to go back serious, okay. Why not put your trust in confidence in God if you have not already done it? So, again, what is it? What is your it? What is your source of strength? What is the thing that you identify with the most? And I will tell you, if it is not God, He should be.